Good morning, evening, afternoon. Masati here. Welcome back to another exciting show of Masati on Sunday, where we talk about, well, the deeper layers on why things happen the way they do, and really bringing out the truth on, gosh, pretty much everything. Pretty everything. This is really the science of life, I would say. And there's been books on the science of everything and so on, and but with science, with religion, with political systems, with your own life. Have you ever noticed that there's always exceptions to the rule? And then you wonder why your life isn't going the way it is. And then what we do is we keep trying harder and harder and harder, right? Like nowadays, what's happening is just some predictions. More and more people are going to be going towards towards religion. They're going to go back to, say, the religion, and there's nothing wrong with it. By the way, nothing wrong with religion or anything like that. There's nothing wrong with the science or anything like that. But there's nothing wrong with success. There's nothing wrong with doing psychedelics. But a lot of those things, again, we're recreating from the past. We're just literally recycling. And so what's happening is that, well, we're just scratching the surface. Sometimes we've cracked in, but literally we haven't even cracked the surface for most things. We literally have scratched the surface. And XI takes it much deeper. A lot of times, well, most 99% of the time, actually, what we do is, we solve for the effect. And that's why there's always exceptions to the rule. And that's why we keep making the same mistakes. Now, today, for example, just some of the points, world headlines today, gosh, the Iran war, it's the same issue that we had a while back. It just cycles compared to most of the wars. When societies start to crumble because they're supposed to, just like in your life, how many of you out there started to crumble because of XI, because you were purifying, you were cleansing, and what did you do? You held on to your own past, and it hurt like hell until you let go, and then it's like, oh gosh, I should have done that a long time ago. Okay, there's nothing different. So whether it's you, whether it's, your family, whether it's a country, or whether it's the human species, where we are now is that we literally are holding on to our past, thinking it's going to resolve. We're going to go back to our old solutions, thinking it's going to resolve. It's not. It didn't work in the past. There's a better version coming up ahead. So just let it go. And I say that to all the political leaders, all the religious leaders, all the business leaders. Your past research and all that might have taken us so far, but again, we need better research. So, all right. So today, we're going to be talking about just that, the father wound, father issues. We've got actually a live individual that will talk about her father issues on the call as well. Plus, we'll scan you all. So anybody who's new doesn't know what scanning is, all you have to do is like, hey, can you scan me? And I'll read your frequency signature and actually pinpoint exactly what's going on with you. In this case, father issues, because June is man month. So. So in this, again, the father wound, releasing the pain of the past, and that's what these sessions are about. Now, you might have tried psychology, you might have tried so many other things that are out there trying to heal your wounds. And again, it's like putting Band-Aid on it. You might have fixed, say, the effect, but you didn't fix the cause, and that's why you still have a lot of pain, and you're still operating from that. When you think of your father, especially if he was, say, distorted, demented, and or very, very kind, whatever it might be, especially the distorted and demented, though, do you still feel the pain when you think of your father? Well, you didn't resolve anything, right? You just learn to go along with the pain and circumvent the pain, but the pain, the distortions is still there. And if you have kids, how many of you who have kids now you see that same pattern in you parenting your kids, or your kids have turned to be out to be like your fathers, obviously your mothers as well. But again, it's we're talking about father issues this month, right? All right, so. one of the biggest things is that one of the biggest things that I see is that the father wound isn't just emotional. It's frequency. It's a signal that you're sending out, and that signal, most people think that, the father wound is about neglect or abuse, but it goes much, much deeper than that, way deeper than that. Even an ideal father, even an ideal father can pass down distortions if he was performing, say, masculinity. Instead of embodying it. For example, an ideal father, it's like, God, my father did everything for us. He took care of me so well. I can't live without him. Right? In that scenario, well, he was the kindest father. Yeah, but that's really fantastic. Again, those are surface level outcomes that really messes us up. Okay. Why was he doing that? Okay. Now, for example, let me just give you an example. Now, you have a father that because he was abused himself, he wanted to make sure that he doesn't want to abuse his kids. So one, he becomes extra loving, right? So loving that he suffocates you because he doesn't want to turn out. He doesn't want you to turn out like what happened to him. But unfortunately, it turns out because he will feel abandoned, you will feel abandoned. So does that make sense for you? Okay. Or say he ran from this is just tapping into some of you and just raise, comment in it's actually a large group. Quite interesting. So your father was abused or distorted, and this is where a lot of fathers get, the negative name or a bad father type scenario. But okay, how many of your fathers, and I know there's a lot of you because I can scan all of you that are live, but how many of your fathers did not pay attention to you, was absent, reserved from you, especially if you were his daughter, a girl, didn't really want to connect with you. Okay. Now, you might say that's a fucked up father. Okay. And it is. Okay. But he didn't do it properly. Okay. The reason why is because he had, say, a dark past. And he knew enough to go, if I had got entangled with my child and I loved them the way they should be, right? What they would do is they would start to embody the same distortions as as um as me. So to save you, to protect you, he didn't get involved in your life to separate. But that doesn't work out either because it's the frequencies behind, not the actions in front, that counts. And a lot of you talking about that. When my father took his life when I was 6, absent father. Exactly. Joan, for example, for you, and we've worked on this. My father took his life when you were 6 because he had such a horrid childhood. Now he's a father, and he's like, I never want to pass that on. But unfortunately, you pass it on through your genes, buddy, not through the physical actions. Okay. So that's the key. Again, so so it's what you embody, not your actions. That's important. That's with everything with XI. So the wound lives in your frequency field, not at a it lives in your psychology, but that's an after effect. It first lives in your frequency field, your identity, the signal that you're sending out, and it impacts how you lead, how you love, how you feel safe in your own power. This is where you could have a lot of money, you could have a lot of love in your space, but if you're running from a wounded frequency field, then you'll never feel safe, right? And it's not just what your father did. Again, it's what his unhealed frequency coding was about, what he was sending out into your identity. Even if he crossed over even when he was young, because that frequency again was embedded within the genetics that he passed on to you all. Okay, so XI allows you to heal at that core level. And how many of you who have healed at that core level, as a note, have actually turned around and your children have healed because you've healed at that level? That's real healing. That's real transformation. Okay. And as a note, I don't heal you. No doctor, Western, Eastern medicine, or anything like that should tell you that they can cure you or heal you, because that is an internal dialogue. Okay. That is an internal dialogue for you. You have to activate, and that's what we do best here at XI. Activate the underlying code, the underlying original programming of how you evolve properly to be your best possible self. That's what we do best here at XI. Nobody else can say it. Not even Eastern, Western medicine. The experts are out there. They just can't. Look at the statistics if you don't believe me. All right. All right. So next talking point on healing, and then we'll bring a lovely woman on, is that one, you're either repeating him, rebelling against his patterns, or in XI, recalibrating beyond him. So it doesn't matter what's happened to you. That's the key. A lot of people go, well, because my father was an alcoholic, therefore I'm an alcoholic. Okay. No, no, you can change all that. You can change all that as long as you go to the core level programming. A lot of people, again, do it at a surface level, but it doesn't work. At a surface level, it doesn't work because you're dragging the past behind. When I say recoding, when I say when I say recoding, that means, again, you are not running from that hurt, the pain, the distortions. Okay. And when you do that, everything changes for you. Your whole family changes for you. Not just you, your ideas, your friends, the way you see wealth, and all that starts to change. Every action you take as an adult, again, is either a reaction to his imprint or an unconscious repetition of it. Think of it. I'll say that again. Every action that you take, and we're just talking about fathers. Obviously, there's other inputs in here, your mom and that, but again, it's man month. So every action that you take as an adult is either a reaction to his imprint or an unconscious repetition of it. So think of it, write this down. How does it feel when you think of your success? Just give you a second or two. Think of it. You might go, well, he wasn't very successful. I'm very successful. Okay. Is your success, okay, dependent? Is your success dependent on the fact that he wasn't very successful? Are you using it as a reference point? There's an XI law of reference points about that. If you were successful because your father was unsuccessful, or vice versa, doesn't matter. You're using the same reference point as him. You're just doing the 180 about it. Okay. You'll get the same results on the inside. One, okay. If your father was unsuccessful, you're successful. Okay. These are the highlights. Right? He's imprisoned. He can't do a lot. Right. He feels beat up. Okay. You're highly successful, and I work with these guys all the time. They run multi-billion-dollar companies, so on, right? Multimillionaires. They're beat up by their families, their spouses, so on. They get beat up. Silicon Valley, basically, right? Highly, they were beat up. Now they're beating up society, right, with their technologies and so on. So think of it. Right? If you're using it as a reference point, so they were really religious, you're rebelling against their religion. They were really lost because it was fucked up religion. You're really lost, well, because you have no religion. Again, it doesn't matter because again, you're trying to fix the effect. We have to go back into the cause. All right. So the imprint again. So one, in success, write that down. In intimacy, write it down for you. How's love feel? Okay. Are you still running from a wounded father type pattern? Especially a lot of women out there. All right. Confidence. Even how you handle pressure all get filtered through this inherited lens. And this is where XI breaks the loop, not by blaming your father, but by extracting his distortion from your destiny. So what that means is like actually separating your identity from the identity that is you. Okay. It's not your father anymore. That identity you inherited, it is yours now. That's the key. Most people think, well, my father was an idiot or a jerk or whatever, and now I'm gonna, no, you're part of it. You have to separate yourself from your genetic coding, and that's what XI does. And then as you separate, you start to observe. It's like, oh, that's what father, that's what mother, that's whoever, gave me all this stuff. I don't need that. And that's where XI again becomes very powerful. So you don't escape the father wound by avoiding it, by the way, turning your back, escaping from it. You evolve it by reclaiming the source signal that he couldn't carry. Again, adjusting the frequency that he tried to. Masculine frequency. Masculine frequency isn't just for men. It shapes everyone's success, by the way. And this is where we talk about in the XI women, by the way, coming up. Okay. There's been a schedule change. I'll talk about that. But again, it affects everything, especially in success, because people think that's a man's job. Okay. This wound doesn't just affect sons, it impacts daughters, it impacts leaders, and the lineage itself. Right? The distorted masculine drives burnouts, emotional shutdown, people pleasing and control patterns in all genders. Sometimes messing up the genders so much that people don't know what gender they are. Kind of crazy, right? So clearing the father wound recalibrates your inner structure so you can lead your life from truth, not drama. Again, you're not escaping. You're actually looking at the wounds and going, "Yep, we need to fix this. We need to edit it now. We need to go look into the black box, see what was done right, what was done wrong, and then move forward from it." Right? We cannot use duct tape anymore. Healing the father wound it doesn't just make you feel better. It makes you structurally sound in your power. And this is where powerful men, when they become leaders, right? They're not broken and they don't create broken systems, broken infrastructures like we have today, broken technology. I mean, Elon Musk, fantastic, highly intelligent, but he's broken on the inside. No offense, he's got great technology, but eventually those technologies will become destructive. Any benevolent technology developed from broken people become become a tool to break societies even more. I don't care what it is. And it's not just men I'm talking about, women as well. Okay. Today, we're going to go deep and and again, go look at how the father affects the individual, not from the effect level, but the cause level. I would say even your genetics. Okay. So we're going to bring on a guest live and scan them to help them rewire deep-seated issues caused by their father. And also remember, when I'm working on them, I'll be working on you as well. Okay. So even if you're listening to this recording, it's very powerful because the frequencies are not embedded in the recording. It's embedded outside of space and time. We'll talk about the science some other time, and that is what really the magic of Axi is for you. Okay. As a note, we've got, well, we'll get into the scans here. We will bring on Dorothea. Hey,
Hi.
Dorothea. Hi, hon, how are you?
Yeah, my husband is yeah, I'm doing well. And
Awesome.
your work now is very intensive. I feel
Oh,
it.
but, you could probably feel the frequencies already.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. You're very sensitive, and you feel frequencies, or at least my frequencies in the chest area, for
Yeah.
example. Yeah. Okay. And the reason why is, and we'll just jump right into it. And if you and who's the handsome gentleman that I can only see half of?
Uh, we'll see him
There you
too.
Yeah, there you go. I can see him better now. How
Yeah.
are you doing? Is that your who is that?
That's my husband.
Hey, buddy.
Yes.
Okay. So what's his name?
Detlef is his name.
Okay, awesome. So Dorothy, okay, so take a breath in. All right. So back in the day, and you've changed so much, it's kind of hard for me to read for you, Dorothea. Okay.
Yes.
But back in the day, um, when you were a young girl, especially with fa and we'll focus just on father figures because again, it's just we're focusing on father figures this month. When people rejected you, you would almost feel like something hit you in the chest, especially when you were like 5, 6, 7 years old. Does that make
Yes.
sense?
Yes.
Okay. So in that case, what happens is that any rejection that you've gotten as you've grown up, so what you do is, when you're young, you get rejected, your identity basically goes, okay, my identity is not valued here at this level, right off the bat. Okay. And then you encode that in your memory banks, and then your genetics encodes it. It's like, oh, for me to survive, I have to adapt or put myself in the closet and always run somebody else's patterns. Did that make sense back in the day for you? Not now, but back in the day.
Yes. A little bit.
Okay. So
And um, for my mother's pattern, is it true? It's
yeah, from your mother's side, for your father's side, I'm just talking overall.
my father crossed over as I was a very very young child. I was 4 years old. He suicide and
Got it.
um, can I ask you
Yeah.
one question? Um, can I give you two names and you can read on me who my biological father is?
Sure. But you said your father passed away at 4? Your
And
bio
the other passed away as I was 1 year old. Also,
so
also
okay,
äh,
so all right.
as two names. The first name is Karl Heinz, and the second name is Dieter.
Dieter, Dieter. It would be Dieter.
Yes,
You're
Dieter.
yeah.
Karl Heinz is was his brother.
Okay. Yeah, it just feels it goes to Dieter.
It goes to Dieter.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I don't know if that clarifies anything. But overall, again, both both says possible fathers died when you were young.
Yes.
Okay. So that's where the impact of your chest is. When somebody in your case, what happens is somebody dies young, whether through suicide or just normal death, or it doesn't feel like a normal death to me though. It's almost like caused by something, and it could be, well, he's diseased in something, but there's an underlying factor on why they got sick. Anyway, take a breath in. We'll release all that. That's why it's coming up from the work that you've done, Dorothea. So what's
Yes.
happened is, again, when somebody dies, it kind of just pulls apart your physical identity here.
Okay.
Okay. And then as so you're like a raw wire, a live wire that's very, very sensitive to other people's frequencies. Does that make sense for you?
Oh, yes.
You feel everything when you're a young kid. Yeah. And then what you do is you try to protect yourself as that young child. right? And then what happens is that you hide, say, in the closet, so to speak, of your body, and then everybody else's patterns, worries, even your husband's diseases back in the day would hit you in the chest because you're just like a raw wire, a live wire. You're a conduit, an extreme conduit without any, say, insulator or barrier there. Does that make sense for you, hon?
Yes.
Okay. And then you
Um,
feel everybody's pain. But since you can't tell what's your pain and their pain becomes your pain. And then you try to deal with it, you try to solve with it. And then it's like, well, I don't, I don't know what to do with it. You can't solve a problem if the problem is not yours. That's the problem. So
I struggle with this pattern, and sometimes it feels good, and another time it's so strong, and I don't know how could delete it, and it's very.
yeah. So let in this session, hon, you're at the level, you've done enough XI where you can observe that pattern as an outsider, right? And then we can just close that chest area up for you, if you don't
Yeah,
mind. Okay, take a breath in and work on your husband as well.
yeah.
Uh, okay. And so back in the day, no offense, guys, but you basically got married as a father figure. You guys got married as a father figure type personality, because you needed that father figure, so to speak, because since your father passed away. So Dieter is, again, your husband is mostly um, as a father figure. So let's remove that as well, if you don't mind. So then that way you can become not a caretaker of him, if that makes sense for you, but an actual, say, couple. Is that okay for you?
Mhm.
Okay. So take a breath in. So how many of you out there run Dorothea's pattern, by the way? You married basically a father figure. No matter how old they are, you married a father figure, okay? Because it might have made you secure. In this case, the father figure was gone, was incomplete. So you always look for that father figure. But again, it's never the same. So, if you get adopted, again, the parents are never the same. In XI, we can reclaim the original identity. It's like a take a breath in. Some of you might understand this analogy. So it's an OEM part, right? So there's, like say you say you get in a car crash, you can buy a car part that somebody else made, or you can get the original equipment manufacturer. Okay, so again, marrying somebody that represents a father figure, or even some of your teachers were a father figure, because again, that need to again come together. That's why father figures are so important. Even if you don't have one, you can say resurrect that pattern for you inside, because it's any frequency can be created. It doesn't have to have an outside experience, by the way, right? Um, some of you might question that, but just let it sink in. All right. So take a breath in, Dorothea. Let's close up that father figure for you. I think that's why you're here, hon, because it allows you to go, yep, I don't need that father figure or that need for that father figure. It is satiated for me. So you're complete with that. Does that make sense for you?
Yes, makes sense.
Okay.
And uh, the wounds of father, my husband has much of them. Therefore, he is sitting by my side.
Snart going on and then
And
Yeah.
um, the reason why I booked this session,
Mhm.
I would clear out the space for our employment. I'm a real estate agent, and he has with his employment the real estate.
Mhm.
And since you cutted him out from his parents' dark patterns, they dealt with black magic. The the money pattern from the dark side would clean up. I hope you understand what I mean.
So are you having money issues?
Yes.
Okay.
And I tried for sale the real estate, but no interests on this. And I would sell my car, and I wish
So, well,
yeah.
take a breath in, just because of time, hon. Take a breath in, hon.
Mhm.
Uh, so breath in. Let's help you resurrect. So again, in this case, another version of it. The real reason why you're here is actually what we talked about earlier. Is just disconnecting or fulfilling that father need for you. Okay. So, and again, what happens there is that you two become an actual couple. You're not a caretaker for him anymore,
Okay.
which is nice. And then he has an opportunity, especially if he does XI, to revitalize himself. Okay. So with money, and we'll talk about this actually that next month, is that if you are if you are wealthy because, again, your family lineage is of the dark side and they did something, the sins of the father, for example, to again create money. Okay. That's not respectable. That's not honorable for you. It doesn't mean that you do without money. It just means that, again, you clarify what your definition of money is. Because the more money you have in this situation, the more destructive it gets for you. If you don't believe me, take a look at the Hollywood actors out there and a lot of people who have sold themselves for money. You just did it at a lesser evil, or your husband did. That makes sense for you. So it's painful because now you've associated money with or abundance with getting used or getting abused or having the life sucked out of you. That's why your husband feels a lot older than actually he would be. Because the more you use your money, the more you use your gifts, right? It's tainted. And again, it sucks the life out of you. So take a breath in, hon. Okay. And this is the pattern that you've been challenging all along, as long as you've been married with him. Breathe deep. All right. So in this case, let's disconnect that contract or agreement for you. Yes, when you disconnect something that deep, by the way, it's kind of like disconnecting from, say, a mafia. It doesn't work out well. And then from there, yeah, you will have money issues for a little bit because we need to rewrite that equation where basically wealth or income, it doesn't equate to selling your soul little bits at a time. Some people do it a lot. Here, take my whole soul, give me a $1 billion. You basically go, here, just take a little bit, little bit, little bit. So it's the same thing. Okay. Take a breath in again, guys, for you and anybody else listening. So in this case, let's rewrite that where abundance is a reflection of how connected I am to myself. Okay. So you're not, again, outsourcing your abundance, your security, not even to God, because God doesn't do that, right? It's a whole different definition. God, and so on like that, just cleaning up religions, and that this could be you, or it could be groups of people here. It's like, oh, God provides me this. It's like, no, God provided you everything all at one shot, right? It's for you to open up the gifts inside you. It's just simple. No, all the religions always go, God provides you this, this, and this, and you always need to connect through the religion or through the spiritual. That's bullshit. No offense. Again, God gave you one shot. He gave you all the things that you needed to create a fantastic life. So look inside. And that way, again, the equation that I'm helping you rewrite, if that's okay, because it'd be against free will if it's not. If it's okay, the more I understand who I am, the potential of who I am, equals the more abundance that I naturally have, including money. Is that a good equation for you? Okay. Is that a good equation for you all out there as well? And then you get to see the light or how blessed you were by God, however you define it. There's a lot of religious type people. For the science people, it's the same thing, just change the labels of God and gifts and blessings to the more coherent I become with my internal, say, signal, the more I can say activate the source that is within me. It's all the same, just different labels. Anyway, take a breath in, hon. And as we end, all right, one, two, one, two, one, two, one, two, one, two. All right, there you go. How are you feeling, hon? Any quick questions as we end?
I feel complete good. Yes.
Yeah,
And
complete. So your husband, he might feel a little disoriented,
Continue.
distorted, because he gets to recoup himself. Okay. He can
yeah.
recover from, heart issues or whatever else that he has had back in the day. Again, those are all old patterns of you having to support an older man type feel. Okay.
Yes.
He has a chance, again, if he does the work, to go back in time and you regenerate himself as a younger man to accommodate a beautiful woman like you. All right.
Hmm? It's all right. Yeah,
So
I'm
much,
lost for words. It's so nice to be here and have this session, and it was a really good decision.
thank you so
Decision.
much.
Yes.
Of course.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. We will move on. We'll go over to you all. If you do want a quick scan, I can give you, kind of like a discovery on where you are. Obviously, you might need a reflection session or one of these sessions, online. That'd be fantastic for you all if you want to go much, much deeper. But again, it goes to the cause of why you are where you are. All right. Some of the things that's coming up for us, the XI Woman, the foundation, the first talk. July 6th updates are on is in Mighty Networks coming up for you. Again, it was supposed to be today, but we moved it to July 6th. Okay. The IANDS conference, IANDS conference, that is coming up. That's in Chicago, August 28th through the 31st. Okay. I think I'll be the keynote speaker on that conference. IANS, basically it's about near-death experiences. Okay. It's a society of near-death experiences. And I'll be talking there, working on people as well on there. I don't know what we all have planned, but there is definitely the talk. I think we'll be doing private sessions as well. If we're not, if the team's listening, let's do some private sessions while we're in Chicago as well for you. All right, so that's really cool. I don't know where you can get tickets on that. It's on the team's right on top of things. That's fantastic. All right, July sessions coming up, private and group sessions. So there's a couple of ways you can connect with me. And by the way, we get really booked. So what we do is we have a continual session, but then as my traveling permits, we open up even more for those because we've got a long wait. So private sessions. So private is just one-on-one. It's you and me, usually over Zoom. Yeah, although we could be in Chicago and it could be one-on-one in person. All right, and then group sessions. So it's reflection sessions for you where there's a group of say 9 people and we get into a group and you have your own time. But within that time, so we spend about an hour and a half into deep state hyper meditations to get into again, and it's really fantastic for you. By the way, so we've got different types of sessions. We also have like couple sessions and then family sessions as well. So take a look at that. Human optimization, guys. Success, that is on July 2nd coming up. We also have, gosh, Megan, is letting shit go is one of the really most popular programs. It's really a great time, by the way. Our last one that we did it, which was a long time ago, really, really popular. It helped people disconnect from so many things, including diseases, like viruses and all that stuff that might be happening for you as well. Also, we have a Dallas event that we're still coming into the works. I think it's in Dallas, so we'll be taking a look at that as well. All right. Let's see, they should go on July 30th. Yeah, July 30th. So that's out there. Okay. All right. So now that we've got some of the office stuff out of the way, let's go into scans again. If I scan you, I'm not a doctor or anything like that. Just so I'll tell you what I see. I could be way off. Shit, a crazy man telling you something, right? All right. This one, Ivy Blue, your pricing excludes many, many people who could use your help. You have to be rich now to be afforded a private session with you. A lot of times, Ivy, that's a great point, and that's why I bring it out. Again, we don't try to hide from anything like that. A lot of times, most people who are, say, having money or struggles with money, they really don't need a private session, right? So, one, do the free calls here, the free talks here, Ivy, really beneficial for you. Okay. A lot of times, the intensities or say the transformations, you become so intense in a private session that a lot of people a lot of people get a little bit more messed up if they don't have a success mechanism. Now, if you're ill and someone like that, that's a different story. But if you're looking for success, someone like that, again, there's a lot of free content that we put out there. So take a look at that, understand why you don't have that money, because again, that's the underlying frequency, and own it. This is where you start to learn, say, success mechanisms, habits, ideas, concepts of self. Okay. And if you've done that, okay, start to look at your space spending habits with you, Ivy. There's a lot of things that you spend outside of yourself that is not needed. It's like a sieve. You can't hold on to money. So is it our pricing, or is just the fact that you can't hold on to money and see what's really valuable for you? Okay. So don't spend as much, and you'll see it's like, shit, I got a ton of money. That's where you are, Ivy. Okay? And when you can do that, when you can claim yourself like that and own yourself and invest in yourself, my suggestion to all of you can't afford the sessions, which is actually very, very well priced. Okay, and I'll give you that as well. Read the book, The Richest Man in Babylon. It's a short read. It is one of the most important books to read. When I was young, I read that book, and it's like, damn, I have to pay myself first, right? It's really a good read. It's very simple. All right. The other aspect of it, one 15-minute session or an hour session, most of the time, again, people don't need an hour session with me. It's not time-based, okay? You might only need a reflection session, which isn't bad. These sessions online, not bad at all. Okay. What are you paying for therapy? Or what are you paying for a Joe Dispenza or a Tony Robbins that just gets you psyched up? A lot of their clients are our clients, and they pay tens of thousands of dollars. Tony Robbins, Platinum Club, over $80,000. Again, a lot of their clients are ours. Okay. A lot of it, his let's see, Lions clients, they pay 200,000-300,000 just to hang out with Tony. And they come to us for real healing, real transformation. Okay? Tony does a great job helping them become successful. We help them understand their success at a deeper level. Therapy costs you what, $250 an hour? How many sessions and how many decades are you going to go to therapy? So again, multiply that by, say, a lot of times, and these are like severely diseased individuals, by the way. Okay. They've had maybe 10 sessions, maybe 10, 15-minute sessions, maybe 10 half-hour sessions. Okay. Compare that to decades worth of therapy at, twice a week, 3 times a week for $250 an hour. Fuck, it's a hell of a lot. And forget about the money, but how much time are you going to have? Right? So again, it's very priced. Those individuals who understand the value, those individuals who come here and go, shit, my whole life changed in the 15-minute session, the private session. It's like, I would pay more. the 10-day hyper meditations that we do, by the way, it's it's under $100. If you do that, it will help you transform and shift. Okay. As far as the other pricing goes, we've got 3 classes that we're getting into. Rejuvenation. Okay. This is where healing goes. So we're putting it out there. This is where healing, healing from diseases, divorces, trauma, and so on like that. Yeah, people need that. So those are going to be priced at a much, much lower level for you. There's still, $30, $40. If you can't afford that, again, there is something wrong. So again, understand that first. Otherwise, XI will just distort you even more because we push you so fast. If you don't know how to, again, have minimal success mechanisms, it'll fuck you up. Okay, so at least you need that. Okay, and then higher level up, obviously you should be at a successful level. Otherwise, again, it'll fuck you up. Okay, this is Bree. Please scan DNA of ancestral energies of being unmotivated, uninspired. Thank you. Yeah. So for you, Bree, take a breath in. Just notice your solar plex area. Okay. You are actually coming through XI, you're actually coming to a level where you are, say, disconnecting from your ancestral levels. So congratulations. Again, don't take it as a negative, but a lot of times, and there's a lot of people at this level, okay, because again, consciousness is rising. We're rising to a higher level. Basically, time and space is getting less dense. It forces you to see the distortions that you are. You can't hold on to your weaknesses. And a lot of people do. Your illnesses, your distortions, and all those things that you think are the human condition. None of that is true. None of that is a human condition. It's brought upon, it's created because of free will. Okay? So with you, sweetie, what you need to do is start to look at that. And again, when people start to awaken to see the bullshit that has been carried on through family lineage, it's scary as hell. Not a lot of people want to go there, but you, since you're seeing it, you're a pioneer. Congratulations. If you can clean this up, and I know that you can, if you can clean this up, you'll not only clean it up for you, but you'll clean it up for your family as well, especially, the younger, nieces and nephews and so on that you might have, the younger people in your generation. Okay. As a reminder, people at this level, at Bree's level, by the way, how many of you out there again are seeing patterns of the family, right? And these patterns go way back, right? Dark lineages, selling your soul, sacrificing yourself, going through, I was working on this individual who was his parents, grandparents, was, gosh, in the Holocaust. That's a lot of damage to your DNA. Right? Even if you're 2, 3, 4 generations down, it's a lot of damage to your DNA. All the distortions of that memory, okay, because of the way evolution works, they survived. Their genetics survived. That memory is encoded, and then people run from horrific patterns, although they've never seen war, unfortunately. Right? It's just a survival mechanism that never got cleared up. This is where we clean that stuff up. So when you start to see that kind of stuff, Bree, don't look at it as you. Don't get demotivated. Right? Get inspired because you are at a precipice of disconnecting all that, including your health issues and all that. And then when you leave that behind, it feels so good because you not only helped yourself, but this is where true help of humanity. People want to plant trees and, do that and I don't know, save the whales and all that. It's really fantastic, guys. But that doesn't help society. It just aids the pain. Okay. What Bree's doing here, and what you all are doing is shit. You're taking the burdens that isn't yours and releasing it. And then your genetics cleans up. The people around you, their genetics cleans up, and everybody starts to awaken and says, shit, we don't need this kind of world anymore. We don't need burdens and pains. The other way of helping people is here, let me take on more of your burdens so then my gene pool gets more fucked up, and then I'll have kids which are burdened even more. That's what we do. And we think we're nice people. We're not nice people, guys. Right? So again, it's not nice sending off your garbage to the next generation, is it? Is that really kind? It's not. Right? It might take you aback. It's like, fuck, Ma says you're not nice. But I go to church. I've felt, no. Are you giving your burdens to other people? Are you taking on other people's burdens to make you feel nice? That's not nice. That's not nice at all. That's not kind. It's just passing on your garbage. Okay. So again, in your case, Bree, kick yourself in the ass and look at the things that you don't like and go, that is not me. What is a better version of me? And I spent a little longer for you just because, again, you're at a pivotal time. A lot of you are at a pivotal time. At this level, you've already separated. All you have to do, sweetie, is literally go. That was my old stuff. What do I need to do to become a better version? And this is where motivation automatically kicks in for you. Okay. This was really interesting. Aaron, Moss, my mother thinks I'm her father. Can you help me, please? Yeah, imagine getting raised, right? Um, being raised in that format. Yes. So, yes, Aaron, take a breath in. So a lot of times there are, I don't want to say duplicates, replacements, right? Father was absent. The mother takes on, and some of this gets weird as hell, by the way, right? The father gets absent, the father's not there, father whatever, the mother starts to, especially if you're a boy, right? The mother starts to replace the father figure with uh with with their son. And again, sometimes there's a lot of, there's intimacy and all that bullshit. I mean, full feature stuff. And it's crazy stuff. And obviously it distorts the kid, right? So getting rid of that, obviously it's not a one-time shot. But yeah, let's take a breath in. At least I think through XI, you've awakened to go, fuck, there's that, there's something wrong there. So your mom, always running after somebody to please them, but then when you're in that pattern, you can never please them, right? Especially if they die and then it leaves an empty, say, space for them from what I'm seeing. Or, the guy left and leaves an empty space. So that empty space, again, has to be fulfilled with some women. Actually, there's a lot of women like that. And then what do? They gravitate to their son. In this case, take a breath in, Aaron. Sometimes so in this kind of pattern, say they have a daughter, the daughter becomes they push out the daughter because that is competition for the woman. So the daughter feels incomplete, and then the daughter half the time turns into, say, a masculine presence. By the way, okay, that gets pushed out. So yes, Aaron, in this case, what we're doing for you is helping you identify who you are, resetting what a father figure is to you, and then also resetting, obviously, what a mother figure should have been for you, and then as you change, your mother can't say latch on to you because obviously there's something about you that's allowing that to happen. Okay. She's basically groomed you to be that partner, the missing partner. So this is where you in your relationship, you get discontent, you feel empty and so on like that. Right. Okay. So, and then that pattern goes on if you choose, but you are awakened. You have high XIQ. So this allows me to, again, separate and go, shit. So in this case, again, take a breath in, all of you. Mother, a mother role, the way mothers should run for you, and then the way fathers should run for you. Okay. So should you choose to accept this frequency, it'll help you parent better. So you're not blindly running from the distorted patterns on how you were raised. All right. Um, this is Gita. Scan, please. How am I progressing? Gita, you are doing really, really well. You're coming into almost a new identity of yourself. From what I'm seeing, coming into a new identity of yourself where new possibilities, everything looks new to you. Okay. Now, even if you're just doing, your normal day, everyday chores, whatever it is, everything is new and fresh for you. So the reason is because your higher self has merged into, say, your physical features. So you're at a deeper level. Sometimes you might feel this way. You're looking through life, the physical form, through your spiritual eyes, and sometimes you might get kind of dazed, go, "Whoa, it's so beautiful here. I'm finally home." Okay. So congratulations. So what I'm helping you with again is like solidifying who you are, where you are, and really enjoying it and not running from your old patterns, which is really, really far away. Okay. Aaron, thanks for the guy with the mother type issues. Thanks for confirming. As a note, if I scan you, can you just reply back? I know I'm accurate, guys, but there's so many people who are new that just need that confirmation, and those people who did healing mastery, they can actually connect to go, hey, where in the dimensions of time and space did Moss access that space, right? And it helps you again encode that. So Carly, just comment in once, guys, because this is way too much. Please scan regarding father wounds of Kelly and Nick and what needs to be cleared. Love, Carly and family. So Kelly and Nick, I'm assuming they're your children. So, well, you are overcoming a hurt pattern or an incomplete pattern. It's almost like back in the day, it might have been, say, a feeling of contempt. You had contempt maybe for their father, if that makes sense to you. So again, that's left you behind. So whatever damage that's done. So as you clean up, Carly B, what's happening for you is your kids, your kids, Kelly and Nick, uh, they seem to kind of be separating from you. Uh, Yeah, not because they don't like you or whatever, but they're separating or isolating themselves or harmonizing themselves because they want to balance on their own. So they'll see, all the distortions that you gave them and go, okay, these are the distortions that I don't need. These are the distortions that I do. These are the complements that I need to perpetuate. So they're doing that with their father as well. Okay, really, really good. So, God, there's a great song out there. Just what was it? The mess that you left. Damn it. It's a really good song out there. Kind of reminds me, I don't know why of you, but I think it's Alanis Morissette. Um, the mess you left. Yeah. You ought to know. So those kind of women, again, take a look at it. Maybe the team can put it on there. It's this song. I don't know if you can see it. Alex, can they see that? It says "You Ought to Know" by Alanis Morissette. Play that song. Listen to the lyrics, guys. Many women run from that pattern. Um, you all need um, you all need the XI Woman series, by the way. Okay, crazy. All right, so let's move on. This one, Rena, I really would love a scan on this topic because I find myself thinking what my father would say for the things that I do. Yeah, okay, so that's another thing for you, honey, is there's a lot of individuals that run this way. Again, the XI Woman series. You ought to know. Yeah, take a breath in. So for you, where was it? Um, I can't find. Okay. So just out of memory, I'm sorry, I might not pick on you because I need to see, say, the comment so I can tap into your frequency. There's an IP address, so to speak, behind you. I wish I could find that. We'll go to Elizabeth, and then if I can't find it, I'll just give you a general theme. But Elizabeth Bears, I'm new. I'd love a scan. So with you, Elizabeth, there seems to be there's with you, Elizabeth, there's like you're a pleaser of four people around you. Okay, two or three of them are, say, masculine figures. It could be a father, it could be a son, uncle, whatever it is. You are, say, one of the guys, so to speak. If that makes sense. Or you could be the complete opposite. But if you're the complete opposite, it's because you don't want to be one of the guys. Okay, otherwise you'll morph into, again, you'll morph into um, losing your identity, because that's what really key is with you, Elizabeth. You're losing your identity as a female. So and then you're kind of like in the middle. So take a breath in. And then what you do is like you have four preset identities. So basically those four preset identities for you. Yeah, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like, oh, this person runs this. I'm going to be this identity because that what fits best. It's like you have a sales pitch ready. Oh, if they're from the South, they need this, this, this. So you give them your sales pitch. So again, you have four different identities with like four different sales pitches. It's not like you have multiple identities. It's just that you don't know who you are, so you've created these identities. So with XI, what you can do, Elizabeth, is actually go, but the problem with this, and this is what you're experiencing, especially as you age, and this is, you basically go, none of those identities are mine, then who am I? So as you age, you basically have no identity, because again, none of those identities are you're just acting that space out. And this is where a disconnect happens. This is where you might have, say, the proper relationships, or it's good, the money and all that stuff, but there's an emptiness, there's a void, again, because that's not you. You're just acting, so to speak. So what you want to do is, and I'll just start that out for you, is again separate yourself from those identities. That's step one. And anybody else that is like this, right? You create a facade for whoever is around you. Oh, my husband. Oh, I need to be this. I need to be this version in front of my husband. Oh, my boss. I need to be this version. It's that kind of scenario, right? A lot of CEOs do this, by the way. Shit, they're sheeps. They're sheep at home. It's like, oh shit, I need to wear the wolf clothing to be the CEO. Doesn't really work out because it's not really them. And that's where, over time you start to, say, learn the habits of that person, and they go, fuck, they're not really the wolf that they claim they are. So that's the problem. Hence burnout and business failures and all that, or ousting of the CEO. So in this case for you, what's happening is we'll separate the four identities. You become the fifth identity, and then you go, why did I create this identity? Right? So you have to ask this at a psychological level. It'll show up for you, but I'm just giving you the steps. You go, oh, I created this identity because of X, Y, and Z. Okay. What do I like about this identity? I was like, oh, I like this, this. It's like, how do I copy it into my identity? Okay. And then you do the same thing for the other three. Some of you out there might have 6 or 7 or 10 out there. Okay? Anyway, so with all that, take a breath in. I'm working on so many different people, by the way, not just you, Elizabeth. So I might be jumpy, but it's just like multifaceted here. So with that, over time, these identities fade. You become one strong identity, and then you can expand into, rather than, say, fractaling yourself into, say, pieces, you expand into, and you go, gosh. And this is what basically I do. When you open up and you become so clear in yourself, you open up, you become so clear, there's so many remnants of other people that they can resonate with you. So no matter who I'm with, it's like, oh, Moss is just like me. I could somebody spiritual. Oh shit, Moss is just somebody science. It's like, damn, that guy's just like me. It's because we all have all possibilities within us. Okay. Um, Cats in the Cradle. Yeah, that's another sad father song. My Wayward Son. This one, Rena, I really would love a scan on this topic because I find myself thinking about my father would say for things that I do. All right, and then we'll call it a day after this. So in that case, what happens is that from what I'm seeing as a young child, it's not you that I think as a young child, from what I'm seeing, you're just seeing an environment that wasn't safe. And I could be off because I'm not a psychic. I just see patterns. But this pattern could be caused by, when your mom and dad get together. For example, there's always tension. Whether they're arguing in front of you or not, there's always tension between the two of you, between the two you look at them. How many kids have been in that situation where you just see the mom and dad together and they're, pleasantry and all that bullshit. But on the deeper level, it's like, what the fuck's wrong with them? There's something wrong. What can I pick up? Basically, that's you, Rena. Okay. They try to cover it up for you. But then at times you just see the breaks, especially during tension, right? You see the breaks and it's like, fuck. And then you start to go, okay, um, if they don't respect themselves, right, or if they don't acknowledge themselves, how are they going to acknowledge me? And this is where you get the idea or concept that what would father or what would mother think of me? Okay. And your mother seems they're they're butting heads because they're both masculine, from what I'm seeing. So your father doesn't lose his want to lose his masculine identity, and your mother is too weak of a woman to, so she runs masculine patterns basically. So that's the core level problem. So again, when you're growing up like that, it's like, okay, I don't want to be in that, say, distorted frequency, the signal that they're sending out. So basically, you basically go, God, what would father think of me doing this? Okay, are we going to have underlying tension? Right, even if he doesn't say anything, so there's going to be underlying tension because again, in this family, you run from underlying frequencies, not say the cause. Right? That's where everything could be perfect on that surface level, but at a deeper level, it's like there's always this tension. So that's basically what you've duplicated. So now you go, oh, I wonder what so and so thinks of me. So what I was doing is like, well, who the hell cares? By the way, you're old, right? It doesn't really matter. Take a deep breath in. We need to grow out of that space. This is where also say you get married, and then it's like, gosh, I wonder what my husband will think of me. I wonder what my kids will. I wonder what my pastor or whatever will think of me. It just keeps an ongoing pattern. As you get older, I wonder what God thinks of me. You're always like second guessing yourself. So breathe in. Let's stop that pattern, and you just observe. It's like, okay, my father would have thought this way about it. Okay, that's fantastic. And then it just releases, and then what's best for me? That's what you need to ask for yourself, Rena. What is best for me? All right, breathe in. So in this case, I was helping you re-edit that so you start to become not an antenna. You have a great ability, by the way, uh, but you understand who you are, who Rena is first, and then you tap in and go, oh, that person needs this, this, and that. Okay. So you don't morph into what they need. You don't ridicule yourself, but you go, oh, okay. Compared to me, they're that way. And then again, it works well for salespeople because it's like their point A, their point B. How do we connect? Right. So in that case, this issue actually becomes a benefit for you. Okay. All right, guys. We could keep going on. Maybe would you guys like it if we just did maybe one Masati on Sunday where I just like read you all? Let me comment in if that's the case. Okay. So a lot of things happening coming up, guys. So take a look at it. Also, by the way, Substack. If you go to XI Masati on Substack, I've started. I'm just putting channels in, but a lot of people want the science behind XI, the views on what XI looks about. I was writing a paper on the Iran war that's happening, the deeper purpose on why that kind of stuff keeps happening, not because there was plutonium there, and because Israel did this and all. But again, the deeper reason on why that stuff kind of happens, the deeper reason on, and we'll be talking about, gosh, what Joe Rogan and what is it, Megyn Kelly exposing on Oprah, on Sadhguru, all those individuals. Again, the deeper reasons, not just the surface level, because we're tired of the surface level news. We're tired of the experts that have always proven themselves wrong, right? Later on. Because again, they might be experts at the surface level, but the reason why they're wrong is because the underlying surface, right? All right. So again, sign up for the Substack. New articles will be coming up soon, and there'll be lengthy articles on, say, the science on a lot of things, science of everything, basically. All right, guys. Notice what you notice. Notice the details. Peace.